Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cryptoverse with me, your host, Chris Coney. Today would be Friday, the 26th of April 2019, and I would be the person who's bringing you three news stories today from the cryptocurrency space. Having sifted through everything, there's a lot of fluff out there today. So having sifted through, 100 news stories, I've picked three that I think is worth paying attention to if you are a crypto investor. So those stories are going to be New York and Tether have a little legal dispute. India has this draft bill which would ban cryptocurrencies completely. I have a number of thoughts on that. And we have the MakerDAO and the DAI stablecoin in a bit of a pickle. So let's talk about those in order, shall we? There's going to be some charts in here, but only that relate to the prices. So let's begin. First source for this is theblockcrypto.com. They have this article, says New York Attorney General sues Bitfinex and Tether to unearth, quote, fraud being carried out by the firms. Well, according to this, Bitfinex and Tether were, first of all, not supposed to be doing business with US citizens, and then the New York state suspects that they have been. So on that basis, they're now asking Bitfinex to supply them with information about any of their users that reside in New York State. So that's gripe number one. But gripe number two is further down here with regards to the solvency of these companies. It says here, in October of 2018, Bitfinex began to struggle with client withdrawal requests. Per the New York State Attorney General, this was due to the loss or theft of approximately $851 million in funds by Crypto Capital, which was a third-party payment processor that they were working with. It says, to date, Bitfinex has not publicly disclosed the loss of the funds. So this is the official line from the New York Attorney General, State Department, Attorney General's office. And the official response from Bitfinex can be found on their website in their announcements section. So here it is. So they say earlier today, the New York Attorney General's office released an order they obtained without notice or hearing in an attempt to compel Bitfinex and Tether to provide certain documents and seeking certain injunctive relief. The New York Attorney General's court filings were written in bad faith and were riddled with false accusations, including as to purportedly an $850 million loss at Crypto Capital. On the contrary, we have been informed that these Crypto Capital amounts are not lost, but have been, in fact, seized and safeguarded. We are and have been actively working to exercise our rights and remedies and get those funds released. Sadly, the New York Attorney General's office seems to be intent on undermining those efforts to the detriment of our customers. Bitfinex and Tether have been fully cooperative with the New York Attorney General office as both companies are all within regulations. The New York Attorney General's office should focus its efforts on trying to aid and support our recovery efforts. Both Bitfinex and Tether are financially strong, full stop. And both Bitfinex and Tether are committed to fighting this gross overreach by the New York Attorney General's office against companies that are good corporate citizens and strong supporters of law enforcement. Bitfinex and Tether will vigorously challenge this and any and all other actions by the New York Attorney General's office. So from that point of view, this could be the New York regulators attempting to torpedo the crypto space by appearing to act in its interests. And that's why I highlighted that bit in green there that says that Bitfinex are saying they are going to fight this gross overreach by the New York Attorney General's office. So with regards to my comment just now about this could be the New York regulators attempting to torpedo the crypto space by seeming to act in its interests, well, anyone who has read The Art of War will recognize such a cunning strategy. I'm not saying that that's what the New York Attorney General's office is doing. I'm just saying that you can't tell what their intentions are. When you look at actions and behaviors, you can't tell what the intention behind them is. You just can't tell. That's hidden from our view. That's in the minds of the actors themselves. So you can never judge actions at face value. That's all I'm saying. That's why I called it cunning. It could be perfectly legitimate, or it could be a cunning strategy. There's no real way to know. So we'll see how that plays out. I imagine this has upset the markets a little bit today. We do have some price dips, but like I tweeted out earlier on, I do not expect this to really affect the crypto space as significantly as it might done in 2016 or a few years ago. We've got plenty more stable coins, plenty more liquidity, plenty more strong hands, plenty more companies involved. So I think we can absorb this kind of thing. Not a problem. Moving on to the next story here. Credit to Cointelegraph for this one. India considers a complete ban on digital currencies. So this draft bill is actually called the Banning of Cryptocurrencies and Regulation of Official Digital Currencies Bill 2019. Well, very elegant title, I must say. So I already know how this is going to go. Whenever anything like this comes up, we always point to the prohibition of alcohol, or cannabis rather, as to how this is going to play out, right? There's a simple logical formula that we've seen that's historically played out. So it goes something like this. You make something illegal. That makes it against the law. You do that to prevent people from doing bad things with it. Criminals, by definition, do not abide by the law, so they carry on using it whether it's illegal or not, because they're criminals. The net result, though, is that you cut off the benefits of whatever it is to the 99% of good actors in order to punish the bad actors, except for the fact that the bad actors will just carry on using the thing anyway. So it's a massive net loss. Not only that, the bad actors will then create underground markets, black markets, backed by violence. So it's a massive lose-lose-lose situation. So one of their concerns about cryptocurrencies is that they can be used they call it, it's in the article here, quote, defraud gullible investors. That's in here somewhere. I haven't highlighted it. There it is. Defraud gullible investors. That's what they're worried about. I say this every single bloody time. The solution to that is for the government to invest money to provide free education so that investors can spot scams for themselves, right? If they're gullible, that's fixable. Turn them into not gullible. Turn them into informed. You know? There is an unlimited supply of scams out there. You therefore can't win or play the game of whack-a-mole with them. Right? That's a game you just can't win. What you can do, though, is build a wall around the minds of these investors. Right? If you educate someone just one time, once you've educated them in the fundamentals of crypto investing, that individual is then protected for life for a one-time investment, right? No matter how many scams they then come across, they will be able to fend for themselves. So this is precisely why I invested so much blood, sweat, and tears into building the Blockchain Security Essentials course, right? Which you can find at the website. If you go to the cryptoverse.show and click on courses, you'll find this thing. So I wish the Indian government would establish a program that would teach stuff like this to Indian citizens. Not only that, all of the governments should be doing this. Hell, I'd even do a bulk deal to let them, like 1 million people access this course. And then say Indians who were interested in crypto could take the course for free, paid for by the government. They could do it on their phones, online, very inexpensively. Now, I said that as kind of a rhetoric, but that's actually serious. If anyone can broker that deal, please get in touch. I'd quite happily scale up my back-end server infrastructure so that I could serve this course to 1 million Indians for a very low price each. 50 cents a user or something. That would be a brilliant return on investment for the government. They could educate 1 million people for that kind of money, rather than whatever on earth money they're going to spend playing whack-a-mole with the scammers. It's just going to consume ridiculous amounts of money. Anyway, moving on to the next story. This one comes from ethnews.com. They tipped me off about this. This is relating to the MakerDAO and the DAI stablecoin. So Ethnews say that letter sheds light on Discord within MakerDAO. So first, let's look at the price chart for MakerDAO, because this is the starting point for this. It's in a bit of a free fall right now. It's lost about 37% of its price in US dollars in the last 18 days. Granted, that's against Tether. But anyway, holding the MakerDAO tokens, that allows you to participate in the governance of the MakerDAO, right? Maker Distributed Autonomous Organization. So that includes like voting on economic policy for things like the DAI stablecoin. So DAI is backed by Ethereum rather than a fiat currency, and then it's stabilized by an algorithm. So if the MakerDAO is governed well and the economic policy is successful, the MKR token should rise in value, and then make the, let's call them the central bank committee, the ones holding the MKR token, they should make them some gains, right? That's their incentive, to make good economic policy so the token goes up in value and they get rewarded for their good stewardship of the MakerDAO economy, right? If the MakerDAO is not governed well, the MKR value should go down, go down, causing the holders to lose money and get punished for bad economic policy, right? That's the incentive model that's right there. For what I've seen in my research recently, though, the DAI stablecoin has been having trouble. So in the last week, for example, if we refer to CoinMarketCap and the DAI stablecoin specifically, what you can see here is that the value of DAI has been up to $1.03 at one point, which is a little bit high, and down to as low as 93 cents. A bit too much of a spread, if you ask me, for a stablecoin. The boundary for a stablecoin should be plus or minus 1%, which is 1 cent either way, It should be worth a cent, $1.01, or 99 cents, and then fluctuate in between. And that's how, arbitrage traders keep the stability where it is, right? So you would think that this fall that we see on the charts in the value of MKR was due to poor stability of the DAI token. You would think that. You'd think this was punishment by the market for bad economic policy. You would think that until you read this article from the CoinDesk, why do I call it that? CoinDesk, called Leaked Letter Exposes Infighting Atop of the Flagship Ethereum Project MakerDAO. Now, you can read the ins and outs of this dispute if you want, because Coinbase has done a pretty exhaustive job of explaining it. But basically, an attorney representing 5 board members of the Cayman Islands-based MakerDAO Ecosystem Growth Foundation say they were pressured to resign by the CEO, Rune Christensen, in late March. Right, that's right from the beginning of the article. So this foundation controls about 30% of all MKR tokens. So this price drop must be really hurting their pocket right now, There's a quote here in the orange. It says, quote, "The CEO is unable to act unilaterally to remove directors," close quote. So yeah, that's why you have a corporate structure. So it's not a dictatorship, is it, right? Furthermore, further down here, it says, quote, "Transparency is a fundamental pillar of how the Maker Ecosystem Growth Foundation envisions its relationship with the wider community," close quote. Well, that's fine, but when it comes to offline legal matters, you can't just openly share details of an ongoing case, can you, right? Which is why this is a leaked letter. I'm sure they want to be transparent about these kinds of things, but there's a conflict of interest in the sense that if you reveal instability in the foundation, that's going to spook the market, and that's going to tank the price of the token. So there's an intent to hide the truth in that regard. In addition, if it's an ongoing legal case, you have to keep it quiet, which is but it flies in the face of the transparency that you want with the wider community. So it's not simple, is it? Not simple. All we've done here, we've just stumbled upon another point of friction between the old world and the new world. So the new world is where we want on-chain, transparent, decentralized governance. And that's the new world. And then the old world is like these legal jurisdictions like Cayman Islands and the laws and corporate structures and human interactions and stakeholders in companies and all that sort of stuff, right? This is still a human problem at the end of the day, right? Blockchain cannot solve interpersonal disputes. It can help us as a tool, but it can only go so far. That's what we're working out. So these situations will keep arising as these two worlds continue to clash and we find new points of friction. And then new solutions have to be created since, well, we've never been here before. So it's fine. It's fine to have problems. It's fine to have friction, because that's the opportunity for us to work out how we deal with these situations that we've never been before. And then from then on, there'll be a solution to draw upon historically. But that is pretty much all I've got for you today. So please like this episode if you liked it. Hit the old subscribe button and the bell if you're not already subscribed. And also, I thank all of my 74 patrons. If you go to the website, thecryptoverse.show, you'll see this website. If you click the blue button that says support the show, you can pledge a small amount of money to get rid of the ads on both the video version and the audio version of this show. You'll get access to the private chat group where I post all manner of other things, including trade calls. And best of all, if you pledge $10 a month or more, you actually earn cryptocurrency rewards for every episode that I put out. So here's an example. This is yesterday's episode, posted 22 hours ago. And here's my patrons post in comments. So you just have to post a comment. That's all you have to do. Post a comment and then you'll get the cryptocurrency rewards. So there's someone 18 cents. And if you're on the $10 level, you get half rewards. And if you're on the $15 level, you get full rewards. So that's why this one's $18 and this one's 47 cents and 38 cents. 19 cents for that person. And these people do it every day. So they're just accumulating cryptocurrency as a reward for being a supporter. So you're not going to get a better deal than that. You're going to support the production of the content. And really, I cannot give you any more value than that. It's like absolutely unbelievable value for being a supporter. So beyond just supporting the creation of the content, you're going to get a boatload of value on top of that. So I don't know why everyone listening to this doesn't just go and sign up right now. So I'll continue to scratch my head about that until you do, but that's all I've got for you today. I'll be back with the next episode of The Cryptoverse. So until then, it's me, Chris Coney, saying bye for now.